Hey everyone, so this video I'll explain a little bit on how to create a resume if you don't have a lot of experience, so say if you're a freshman or sophomore. By doing so, I'm going to revisit my old resumes and critique them so you can kind of see the good and the bad of my old resumes. Again, obviously this is just from my own perspective and some of the advice that was given to me as I grew in my professional career. So please don't take this as the one and only way. Go ahead and try to find a template that's right for you and to get yours critiqued by other mentors and people in your field. So first off, you'll see that my outline here, or my format, even though I don't have a lot of experience, but you can see that I kind of took up a full A4 page. And that's partially because I allowed my font sizes to be a little bit bigger. I had this extra bar to kind of highlight my name and my contact information. It looks classy, professional, it doesn't look out of place. Also, I had the spacings in between each of these segments to kind of help section off my resume. There's a weird gap there because it's actually a screenshot of my resume. I couldn't find that. What is it? So next off, I want to talk a little bit about the other formatting areas. I had space, so I should have been able to kind of push the rest of this text, the bulleted text, to the left here so that it doesn't interfere with my date text. The way that it's running off to the right in this area makes me feel a little uncomfortable because it kind of protrudes into the space and makes it hard to read the dates and to clearly, again, have a section resume. Next, I want to talk about the high school information. So if you're in your first semester, second semester at your higher education institution, then you may have your high school information on there, which is fine. Just make sure that your GPA is off 4.0 scale. I would personally put a 4.0 here so that you're clearly explaining that this is a 4.0 scale. If you have a GPA that's like greater than 4.0 because your school runs on a 5.0 scale because of APs or whatever, go ahead and convert that into a 4.0 so that it's easy for the creator to compare side just by each resume. I should have also put my dates. I forgot to mention this in my formatting time, but I should have put the dates here to mirror the rest of the dating format. You'll see here that the majority of this information is from my high school, so all of these honors I acquired when I was in high school, and both of these jobs were in high school. However, as you get older, maybe even by month or by the second semester, you need to start replacing these high school experiences with your college experiences, even though they may not be as impressive. Again, it's kind of more relevant. I think I left my drum major job on my resume for a while because there's always the off chance that you'll connect with the recruiter because of your similar extracurricular activities that you did in high school or even in college. But this volunteer job at the library, I couldn't really pull a lot of transferable skills or relevant information to most of the jobs I applied for, so eventually I crossed this one out. So again, by your second semester, after your second semester, try to recall all of your high school information with your college experiences. Next up, I want to talk about the experience I had as a work-study student. So this was my first job at the school, and essentially I was the assistant of the professor. And so I handled a lot of financial documents in the sense that I took in receipts that was given to me daily or weekly. I punched holes in them, I stamped them, and I put them in a Google spreadsheet. Doesn't really sound impressive or glorious or even intellectual, but it showed that I had the ability to be accountable, and my employers and organization trusted me with financial documents, right? So if you did anything of the sort, go ahead and put something with financial in it. That makes you sound really impressive for the reasons I just listed, to show that you're accountable and trustworthy, which any job that you apply for should have those qualities. I also did some administrative tasks. So what does that mean? I essentially helped emailing when it comes to event planning, and I helped set up chairs and brought in food and set up the venue for the event. Stuff like that shows that I have management skills of my resources and communication skills with people, and those are all desirable even even transferable to something called a project manager, which is a common role in any organization, project engineer, project manager. So again, it may not sound that impressive to you in your head, but it actually is, because let's face it, any job that you have, you're getting paid for it for a reason. And if you're going to be rewarded for monetarily for a job, then it shows that you have some value to offer. So don't be afraid to put any type of job on here. Like I could have put my dormitory hall experience and listed under professional experience, because even though I didn't get paid for it, I led a student program or a student organization that had 5 executive board members, and then I think we managed maybe 160 students in terms of event programming. So that was a large number. So it showcased that you have communication skills, you have teamwork skills, right? And you have you can execute on any type of job, right? So next up, I put my honors. I wanted to showcase that I stood out when I was amongst my high school community, and I was a high achieving student, so I want to showcase that. However, you'll see that in my next version of the resume, I pretty much took this out, because what will matter more to the recruiter is your experience versus these scholarships that they may not know anything about. And then I put my skills and knowledge. I didn't know much at the time, but at least I wanted to showcase my soft skills. I had second language. I was proficient in second language, and I had team building and leadership. And that's important to know, because most recruiters, when they are looking for a potential candidate, they actually want to look for someone that they would want to work with. So if you list this on your resume, then it showcases that you have that experience and you understand what that means. And or at least it prompts the recruiter to ask you more about it. Also, if you've taken maybe 3 straight years of Spanish, go ahead and put your proficiency level of any second language that you have, because that's also pretty impressive. Okay. This is my resume after I finished my first year of college. You'll note that I have removed my high school information almost completely, from what it seems like, pretty much completely. And during the summer of after my freshman year, I was able to participate in a research experience for undergraduates, RU, and so I actually have a technical experience, and you can see that I gained some technical skills here, technical training on some instrumentation. So now that my resume can be more related to my technical capabilities, I replaced that with my high school information. Not much has changed here except for the newly additional jobs I picked up. So I became a tutor from some of my proficient classes, and I became an RA, which is what we call a peer leader for freshman residence halls. So stuff I want to note here is, well, first of all, this date is a different size than the other date, so that was a no-no. And again, I should have put the graduation, anticipated graduation here. And lastly, if you can see, I don't think I did this quite well in terms of the italicizing and then the schooling or the employer essentially. I don't think that is done quite well. You can see that my resume afterwards, I believe that this combination of bolding and italicizing is a much better job than what I had done here. But again, I'm pulling up this resume to showcase kind of how you can use your on-campus job to showcase your kind of leadership or your soft skill capabilities, so that you can apply that to a job with industry. So here I put facilitating and developing environment within the freshman experience residence halls. What I should have done was know how many students I was in charge of. I was in charge of, at the time, 30 students, and I probably hosted a couple of events that had a maximum of 100 attendees. So I didn't mention this on the previous talks, but any numbering that you can give on your resume is good, because that gives a true quantitative sense of your accomplishments to the recruiter. Also here, something technical, I put everything that I do for the within my role as an undergraduate researcher. I was basically just running experiments. I didn't write a lot of papers or anything technical at the time, but what I thought was pretty good was I had to present technically to some faculty members and the rest of my students, and that's a good skill to present technically and endure kind of the questioning that you would get from people. And any industry professional would know that you need some good public speaking skills and kind of like preparation and expertise in that whatever content that you're presenting in order to have a good presentation in any meeting. Yeah, that's essentially it. I think that I want to say in terms of a resume for people who don't have any experience. So last couple of things, you can pull experience from anything, from student organizations that you're in, even if you're in a fraternity or sorority. Like, there are multiple leadership role opportunities within fraternities and sororities. So don't be shy, go ahead and sign up for those, even if it's recruitment lead, right? Like, that's a very important job. So explain basically any transferable skill. Also, your on-campus jobs, part-time jobs, even your group projects. If you did a project that involved designing a model or a CAD system, like a computer aid design, and you had to actually prototype it, like, even though it was for class, you definitely learned prototype. You definitely learned some real skills that could be transferred into industry. So again, I hope this video helped. My information is listed on the presentation with the resume building. So again, feel free to contact me there, and I'm excited to see you all at the 2016 oSTEM National Conference. Thank you.